Welcome everyone to another edition of Starting with Marketing. This time we'll be tackling Reddit ads, and this time I have two fantastic speakers, Kris and Davis. These two are definitely the reason why I started this webinar series, because I think almost 2 years ago we had a group chat for the first time, or with a group call for the first time, and that conversation was so hilarious and unhinged, and we just were talking about Reddit ads, that I realized at some point in time I need to make a webinar series about marketing, because there's a lot to be talked about. There's a lot that we can all share in, a lot that we can enjoy together. And so today is finally the day that we are doing this. So as I want to get started as soon as possible, today we have a slightly different format. Basically, I want us to start with specific topics with specific opinions, and then I want to let Kris and Davis run wild, because I'm 100% sure all three of us will have completely different opinions. The reason is that I usually work with very young companies, so I have my perspective. Kris usually works with very large B2B companies, so that means that spending 10,000 euros for my clients is usually asking for them to commit suicide, whereas for Kris it's like, please, can we not talk about pocket change? And at the same time, Davis has a unique take on things, because he makes the most Reddit ads that exist. He has given an absolute masterclass with the ads for this specific webinar. So I mean, it's just fantastic to later discuss these. Other than that, so today we'll be focusing on specific topics, and let's just get started, right? So Kris, why don't you introduce yourself?
So hi everybody, I'm Kris. I've been running Reddit ads since March 2023, a bit over 3 years. At the peak, I was spending like $250,000 a month across multiple companies. So big spend, which sounds scary, but it excites me as a marketer, because it also means I can test a lot of things. I have a lot of data to actually see what works and what doesn't work across multiple different companies. Because when you think about it, if your product is amazing, sells itself, you can be below average and you'll still do right. But on the other hand, if the product is new, nobody heard about it, it will be a different challenge. So I've seen what works across multiple companies, and I had the data to aggregate it. So it's whatever I advise, it's like, generally speaking, this works. This is the best practice. I've seen it working in more than like one companies. But yes, thank you for having me.
Anytime. Davis?
Oh, damn. I've been Redditor pretty much for 15 years. Accidentally, again, made my first $1,000 there. That's a joke, but I actually made that. And it was about 9 years ago, and started dipping my toe on Reddit ads. And I would say for the last 3 years or something, I have been very, very passionate about it, very, very specific, and studying pretty much all the materials, all the possibilities, and so on and so on. I have, like, similar like Kris. Kris is right now in-house, but I actually started my marketing career, just like Kris, in an agency. So we both actually have experience with multiple channels at the same time, and we are able to figure out which channels is best for a specific audience or even funnel. Because we kind of understand the concept, how each place is built in. Unlike Kris, I'm not actually advertising on any other channel anymore, simply because I like Reddit too much, and I see a very good potential. So, yeah.
That is fantastic. Then I think let's just get started with one of the topics that I wanted to discuss today, which is, do you create completely different campaigns for Reddit, or do you slightly change things that have worked on LinkedIn or Meta ads? I think Kris would be a great place to get started here.
Love this question. So my approach changed as I evolved as a marketer. So usually when you start from square one, it's really hard to get Reddit specific assets, internal buying, to put a lot of resources to make everything right. So it's usually path of the least resistance. Let's launch whatever works on other channels and make it work on Reddit. And surprise, surprise, usually it doesn't work. Honestly, I don't even expect it at this point. I just want like first proof of concept, first deal, first closed deal, first 5 leads. And from there we can go and say to the leadership, okay, so we did what works for other channels on Reddit. We have some proof that it works. Our ICP is in there. Now let's do it properly. And usually, like, it's not only about Reddit. If you do meta-specific ads for Meta, it works way better compared to if you were replicating from other channels. Same with Reddit. If you do Reddit-specific creatives, usually it performs better, but it requires effort, it requires time, and usually companies don't want to allocate extra resources. So I usually start with let's replicate everything that we have everywhere else, and once I prove you that it works, I have solid case to actually invest more time and effort into running Reddit properly.
Can I add? I actually have a very cool thing. So what Kris, I actually not learned that, but kind of figured it out. So yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. Like Reddit ads specifically, most companies do it because like, oh, we have spare budget, we have scaled meta, or something like that. Like, and the issue is very simple because like no one knows about you. You and your competitors, was it like 10% of the market, are people who are right now gonna buy in that specific period. So that means like your market is about 90% untapped. That means you need to somehow get the top of the funnel to Reddit. And Kris is what he's saying. That's actually completely correct. Most companies are like, let's play it safe, and that's actually the hardest part. But what I kind of said, there are 3 levels to this. The first level is, so the ad consists of headline and an image creative, let's call it like that. So that's a combination, and that's an ad. The first level, that's what everyone are doing. They pretty much copy what you have on Meta or even on Google Ads. Same headlines, just copy, paste, and put it in there and call it a day. The next level is you adjust a headline. That's like, it's not so salesy, it's not so specific, it's more native to Reddit, but you still have the same creative. But the next level is you have Reddit headline, then you have Reddit creative, and it's not. And what I have kind of figured out, it's not so much about selling, but kind of like answering why your product or service is good, like having a very, very snappy pitch. I will actually, in the meantime, while Kris and Derk are going to be talking, I'm going to actually show you my ads that I have been putting for Reddit. I think it's 4 or 5. And yeah, you can take a piss at them either way.
Those ones are just really, the ones from the webinar?
Yeah.
I mean, those are just perfect. I really feel like I haven't seen anything as refreshing as that, even though it is still super low-hanging fruit. In a way, like these are not the most eloquent ads or creatives. But if both of you optimize the ads, do you also optimize the landing pages for Reddit?
I think actually I have one specific client who we optimized the landing page for like specific for sales, and they actually work very well. But haven't had very big, not big clients, but like clients who are willing to do that.
Again, too much effort and budget to allocate, as Kris might have alluded to already. All right, good. I'm surprising how low energy the 3 of us are right now, because the last time that we spoke, this really turned into a riot.
It wasn't that bad.
When audience are already running Reddit ads. Only 2 people have said that they are not. We are running a poll, so if you still want to let us know if you are running them or not, that would be helpful. Aha, yes, thank you. So indeed, so far, definitely people are running them. So please feel free to share your experiences in the chat and come up with questions. We're going to run these. We're going to answer all of the questions during the webinar again today. Today we will not be running super late, so I think it's totally doable for us to answer all of your questions as they come.
Gonna share the screen.
Yeah, go for it.
Doesn't matter. So yeah, it's from my personal profile. I don't know how much you can see it. So
yeah, we see everything, I think.
You like Reddit for Business, then you will definitely love our pitch-free Reddit advertising webinar. Pretty much. Thank God for ChatGPT. The photo is actually used, made it specifically. Yeah. If you don't know about this, it's pretty much like Bender is saying, "Oh, I'm gonna make my own thing with blackjack and hookers." So
this one is definitely showing our age that you are coming up with this one, because this is a very old meme and the source material is even older.
Well, shut up. I'm just 31. Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, my ad money goes right to audience and visited Reddit for Business. I will teach you exactly how to do the same. Read that webinar. We won't pitch you shit. Oh yeah, the previous one. Yeah, I'm gonna make my own Reddit ads webinar for free and with actually solid advice, comments, open, post your favorite meme. No one actually posted, but yeah. And this was actually made today. Yes, in total, I have gotten, at least I have documented 183 positive comments. I tried to put all of them. A lot of them are actually behind everything. But yeah, you can actually read all of them if you really wish. And the last one, if you probably saw, was a video. But what's the most interesting thing, if you're kind of comparing things, it's that it's not that hard. You just actually need to know where your audience is, and you need to talk to them directly. Meta and Google, pretty much, the messaging needs to be broad, but at the same time, it needs to be direct. What Reddit allows, it's giving you a kind of an option to speak very, very specifically to your audience, and you know who these people are because they're visiting your target communities. So that's why you can express in a very specific way. If you have built relationship, like I have, the people that I have been targeting, all of my ads that I just showed you, if you didn't notice, all of them actually got upvotes. One of them, in 2 or 3 days, they got 10 upvotes. And I was actually, there were like 4,000 or 5,000 impressions. Like that's actually on par with organic. And if you know how to do it as a company, it's not that hard. You just need to fit the right message.
As I have been, my Reddit ads experience is mostly with a company and a product that, I mean, the performance and the sales were fine, but it is definitely a little, it was a beauty product, let's call it like this. And so there was, and we were using general, like we'll get into the targeting later, but we were using very general targeting, like even like the subreddit for funny. So obviously you're going to have plenty of people who are then going to be jokesters in the comments and stuff. So I'm usually used to getting more downvotes and upvotes, even though we even had upvotes as well. Do you see that CPC and stuff is going down if you have tons of upvotes, or is that it doesn't really impact things?
So that's actually, so how CPC is calculated, we need to figure that out. It's pretty much CPM divided by CTR.
But then let's generally, like, do your KPIs get nicer once you have upvotes?
I haven't noticed that. Like last year, I think I was checking, and I kind of noticed that posts with I think one of the most comments that I have in one of my ads is like 500 comments. And that was one of the most engaged ad at the time. Notably, it also had 3,000 shares, but for different reasons. But long story short, no, it's I don't see very big correlation. There is some, I would say, background metrics, how we could measure how much people like the ad, but not really. I would say you can actually put the same ad, the same creative, the same headline, and even then they both will have very different CTRs. Like one has 0.8, other one has 1. It's like, why? Well, because algorithm.
That too. So let's get to the results then for these campaigns for the webinar. What I can see is that 13 people had signed up using the undecided UTM link. And then obviously 13 doesn't say much. But so what was about the budget that you had to spend on this?
Right now, I did actually, it was my fault. Right now, I'm at 317. Notably, the total audience that I was targeting was about, what Reddit was showing was 8.6 or 9,000 people in a week. I was running ads for let's say for 3 full days, so for 72 hours. I could definitely expand everything. I could put on r/ppc /marketing and so on, and expanded. But I was very like, hey, I don't want to spend money on people who don't know or have very bad feelings about Reddit ads. So let's target people who are in the communities that probably are doing something or they like it. Notably, I was messing up what Derk was saying about how many. I was actually messing up with those UTMs. So,
yeah, I also saw a school suddenly in the list of UTMs.
Yeah, that was the latest one.
Okay, that is yours, just so that you know which one of the video, which one was the video ad.
Yeah. So I'm gonna check how many of the URLs had the same UTMs, but yeah.
So I think that all of the memes had undecided, and the other one has school, because otherwise no one converted, and only one meme did convert.
Oh, okay. Yeah. In terms of Reddit ads, Kris, please join to this. How important is the setup?
I mean, setup is make or break. Like one of the first epiphanies I had is that actually if you do conversion campaign to cold audience, surprise, surprise, you will actually get conversions. Who would have thought? But like when you run out of you are like, let's do awareness, let's penetrate audience, first touch. Actually, with both Meta and Reddit, conversion to cold audience work. Maybe not with like fresh ad account. I never tried it with like straight off brand new account, but otherwise conversion campaigns work way better for all the businesses I work with, because at the end of the day, they care about conversions and what they can track. So, and I see we have also a question about meme and Q&A.
Yes.
Shall we touch on it now or later on?
If you want to, let's do it.
So as a general rule, I don't like to have more than like 25 or 30% of my creatives being memes. Just because it's like everybody will like you, nobody will love you. I know horrible comparison, but I know maybe 2 or 3 companies I spoke with over the years that ran purely meme ads, had amazing click-through rate, and yet 0 conversions. Just because it's funny and grabs attention, but you need that punch to actually, like that push to actually convert them. So I still think it's a good mix, because at the end of the day, person will see multiple ads over extended period of time. So meme is a good attention grabber. It blends amazingly on Reddit. But I've seen maybe 1 or 2 meme ads that consistently converted. Otherwise, not really.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with Chris that I have seen the same numbers. Again, I think the average was 20 or even, yeah, also the same 30% increase in CTRs compared to awareness. What was the most interesting for me for awareness, it works the best, but for remarketing, kind of something like meta ads actually work very well. But of course, I guess I have way different clients than Chris because then you have different audiences. You can't really show memes for B2B. Well, you can, but yeah, the click-through rate is going to be good, but what's going to be the result? So that's the kind of the question.
But I think that Chris brings up a very interesting point here, because it's all about, like, especially if you work with larger B2B companies, that you just need to have, over 10 touch points before someone actually buys, like before the contract is signed. And obviously the sales calls also are a touch point here, right? And so, if you are fighting in a very competitive space, let's say something like cybersecurity, then being different and using a meme can be the reason that someone then recognizes your name and then recognizes the serious ad afterwards. So it's all about, what kind of brand are you? What do you want to do? How much patience and budget do you have to do these things? Because, they're definitely, I don't think that OpenAI would really go with a meme thing, whereas, or what else? Palantir, I hope, will not use memes. I think that might be a bit too much.
What was the Philadelphia actually did a very good meme, like, what was it, 6 months ago? So there was a guy, it's not a meme, it's, I would say, if I may say this, that's actually a very new idea. It's not a meme, it's a communication with the target audience. So do you agree with or disagree with this statement?
Philadelphia as in the city, or
No,
cheese?
no, the Philadelphia cheese. So what the idea was, so I'm going to explain this context and then you please try to understand it. So there was a guy who was chopping some kind of, not onion, something like that. I don't know the English name for that. And for every single day, the guy was actually posting that on Reddit. I don't remember which subreddit, but it actually went very, very viral. Like, because he was doing for like a month or something, like day 50, day
it was
60.
cutting chives, and then everyone needs to.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, and Philadelphia actually was joking about that. Like, they put a very basic picture with their Philadelphia cheese, and I don't remember the headline, but pretty much it was giving a hint that we have seen you, and everyone in that specific community, they were freaking out, and they were like, okay, I'm gonna buy Philadelphia because the community, the people were being seen.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads me to
I think that's really the thing that is so unique about Reddit, whether it's organic or ads. It's all about being seen, having a personal connection, personal communication.
Yep.
Because also, like you said earlier, if you do anything with any of the other performance marketing channels, your message is very broad. It's very, professional. Whereas with Reddit, especially, like the ones that you've shown earlier today, those are a lot more informal, if you will. It's a lot more how I could imagine, like Chris, actually, your captions, do they sound a little bit more like how sales actually talks to the client, or do they really still follow very strict branding guidelines?
To be honest, it depends on the company, but usually it's like the way they speak. So like that's pretty much it. But at the end of the day, like it all comes down to how much creative direction can I push on. Because I work with some companies, even like my best performing ad at Cognizant was ad of me crying in front of laptop with like crying filter.
Wait, you used your own picture?
Video. So I recorded myself in front of laptop, and then an overlaid filter of my face crying. It was the best performing ad, but I recorded it on a kind of now or never moment because CMO told me on the same day that starting tomorrow, she will be reviewing every single ad we launch. So I was, okay, yeah, let's launch it. So within like 2 hours, we recorded it, we edited it, and we had it live. And it was the best performing ad for like 3 months straight, just because it was novelty. And actually it was kind of pain point. It was r/sales. Do you also have XYZ pain point? And it was me crying videos.
Oh, geez, need to start doing that. I'm not very eager to show my face or the connection with me and my clients, but I guess I need to start doing that. Kris, I really have a very stupid idea, not idea, but question to you. How often do you actually do your own ads? That's kind of the question is like.
That's a good question. Yeah. Do you create your own creatives?
Yeah,
No,
simply
out of
because of
scope.
different.
Out
Okay.
of scope. When you think about it, like even right now when I'm in-house, if I have to do the ad copy, create ads, manage channels, it's way much more work. So I can actually do less platform management because I have side quests. So maybe
Yeah.
across 3 years of not only Reddit, maybe for across 3 years of 5 years of running ads, I did myself from A to Z maybe 15 or 20 ads. Usually I have someone else doing creatives based on brief. Usually I have someone else doing copy or even like
You still
LLM.
do briefs then?
Because at the end of the day, it takes time and takes volume. I cannot share with you specific numbers, but at my previous job in the agency, we had designated copywriters writing ads, and you would be surprised how much time does it take to actually go and create 5 rock solid ads from zero without any ideas beforehand.
Yep.
So I cannot afford that because if I do ads, I cannot manage platform.
This is the nice thing when you're working with a smaller team, because I was working for a company and they were active globally in so many different languages that I literally just had to go, because most of those I didn't speak, or I would vaguely understand, because Italian is somewhat like French, right? So I could obviously understand things from 4 years of French in school. And so I basically just went to their website, and whichever sentence that they had, which was not very long, I thought I could use. And that was all I needed, because then I could just already compare 5 different things and I was done. But obviously, if you have like large nurturing, systems and stuff, then you need to work completely differently.
I actually have a very cool tip for everyone. So, in the Reddit ads dashboard, on the left side, there's AI copywriter. Use that, but before that, go to ChatGPT and kind of try to figure out and get as many pain points that you can, and put all of those pain points kind of like, then ask ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever. Hey, summarize the product, the service. I think it was like up to 1,000 characters or something for the AI copywriter that needs the description. Put it there. Figure out what kind of tone do you wish, and ask for 10 outputs, and then do adjustments. Why I'm saying this is what Kris is saying. That's actually very hard. You need to kind of you kind of need to figure out, okay, what kind of pain points do they have, how I should position that, and that's going to be a very good base for the rest of your ads in the future, because you will start to have a kind of pattern like, oh, this audience very well performs if I push some kind of urgency or some kind of other pain point, like their I don't know, the service. I don't know. What's the most boring company? Accounting. Usually people do
companies that provide screws and stuff for factories.
Okay. Clothes for clothes? Oh, damn. Okay, so the pain points definitely would be, are your employees not well dressed, or are your employees
It's cruise, but I'm loving the new take.
Okay. They have issues with safety, or their clothes are way too worn off, and then you can, with the ChatGPT, you can kind of figure out, okay, what do these people might need, like what triggers them, and like AI is not going to be generating you a new idea because it's based on data, but it can give you something to work with in the future. And I would say that's a very good foundation. So ads manager, left side, AI, copywriter thing. Funnily enough, it's actually built on Gemini. Don't ask me how I know, but Reddit did. So, okay, what's the next question, or what's the next topic?
All right. So actually, I think we should now get into a very big topic that is the entire, I want to say, what's it called? Like the first thing people bring up when you talk about Reddit ads is bots.
Yeah.
And I have the impression that bot traffic is not nearly as bad if you set up your traffic right and you just only do conversion. Because like Sarah already mentioned in the chat, awareness stuff on Meta is asking for wasted budget. Also something we discussed 2 weeks ago with Evo for during our Meta ads. If, by the way, that's something you would like to see, we have all of our webinars on YouTube, which I'll send a link to in a second. They are, however, also in the same definition as you are seeing this now, so don't expect anything 4K. But yeah, I think like from my experience is set up your tracking right, everything is hunky-dory. But what do you guys, what have you guys experienced?
Chris, start.
Okay, so I actually dived low like 4 months after starting Reddit ads. I started dissecting and analyzing audiences, how many of them bounced after a second, how much of them is bot traffic. And actually, it's a huge, huge amount. But because CPMs and CPCs are so low, it's still the cheapest platform. So from my data, first of all, majority of users are mobile users. So if I had to optimize for something for mobile, not surprised, everybody has Reddit app, even I use it. Second of all, you can decrease amount of bots if you exclude big data centers. So, a pro tip is to exclude Virginia in the US if you target US, because huge data center is in there, so you will decrease it significantly. And then yes, it's objective called. Yep, go on.
No, I just put it in the comments. It's Ashburn, Virginia. On Reddit, it's Ashburn, VA. That's one of the biggest data centers in US, and pretty much accounts like 10% of traffic for most companies that are targeting US specifically.
Yep. Even with these guardrails, I still get a lot of traffic, probably around 50% when I was properly analyzing it. And yet, still at the end of the day, for some companies, cost per opportunity, cost per close won, cost per lead was way lower compared to other platforms, just because CPCs and CPMs are way lower. Fun story before I wrap it up. I actually spoke with Reddit ads rep about it, and his recommendation was to just exclude bot traffic from my Google Analytics.
I mean, if it works, dude. Like, makes sense.
But are you still paying for the bots then?
Yeah, actually, that's why I asked him, because I was like, I know 50% are bots. Can I get some credit? And he was, nope, you see 50% of bots. If you have problem with that, just remove it from your Google Analytics.
That is such. I mean, I respect the chutzpah.
Derk, you lost.
That's also, yeah. I think that my laptop is getting old, and Apple's starting to realize it, and now I need to start buying a new one. But yeah, that is, basically just don't measure things, and then the outcomes will be different. Yes, that makes total sense.
I mean, my ads are not working. I should maybe change something.
By the way, to answer Sarah's question, I'm sure everyone has a lovely story here. Are Reddit ads, are Reddit reps worth it, or are they not worth it? My experience is that I had a client who their text number is in Hong Kong. So then only after weeks of talking with them, we managed to get a US rep because that would work with me so that we would be able to talk during the same time window. Then basically the only reason we were talking with them was basically just to get ad credit. And they were very generous the first time, and then we never managed to get in touch again. And then for a German client, I asked specifically for a German representative, and they were basically just telling me to first start spending a fortune, and then maybe I was allowed to talk to them, because they said that you only get a rep if you spend. It was either 1,000 or 5,000 a month, which for my client wasn't an issue to begin with. They were very happy to spend 20,000 a month if everything converted. But yeah, before that, they weren't eager to talk to us. And I feel like they are too cool to talk to. That's my personal experience, but that's also been a while ago. So they have better people now. Also, a lot of turnover, but that's, I think, pretty normal with performance marketing reps, right?
I actually have totally different way. For Europeans, it's very hard to get a hold of them. Probably the reason why I'm able to get anyone is because I'm as an agency. So they see all my clients and like, oh yeah, this guy is a spender. Sure, why not? I would say European rep, the last one that I was talking with was, yeah, it was like too cool. I don't know if he was in Italy or France, but yeah, he was one of those. Oh, too cool to talk with you. Europeans, sorry, not Europeans, Americans, I love them. I think I have twice or three times I have changed, but like I had same ones, then they switched, and the guy left, and I got the original ones, and now I'm getting two more after a couple months. But I would say they're worth it. As any rep, but like their KPI is like, let's spend money, please spend money. You need this, you need that, and they don't really care about the performance in terms of, oh, are these KPIs okay? Cool, let's spend more. Why are we not spending more? But I would still say they're way better than Meta. They haven't, if I might say, they haven't outsourced their representatives to India in terms of they're not really pushy.
The Google reps I have had over the years, I feel so sad for these people who they're just told, answer the phone, call these people, and they need to spend money. They don't get a script. They don't learn anything about the technology. They have no information to actually help you. And then they are just terrified of not meeting their quotas. And yeah, obviously in such a situation, you're going to become an international joke if you do this at scale. And with Google, obviously everything is at massive scale.
Yep. Chris, I think you're popular.
We need a tiebreaker. Chris, are they worth it? Yes or no?
Yes, worth it, but it's based on rep experience. I used to be super tight with one of the reps. I asked him once how many accounts he manages. He said 80. So on average, he has less than half an hour for you a week. So if you have anything urgent, anything that needs fixing, it won't happen because he's just too busy. Yeah,
80. I mean, but to be honest, I have the insider knowledge I have. Like, even though I haven't been in US even since, the insider knowledge I have, the last year they have actually doubled in size. So their teams are very much growing. The ad revenue has been growing exponentially. They're onboarding way more reps. Of course, turnover is going to be bigger. But yeah, I would say they're legit. Of course, like, depends on the one. Okay.
I think that takes us to the topic of so we've taken the bots on, we've taken the reps on, but now we have, because for me, talking to a rep also means talking about view-through conversions and click-through conversions. And this is where I think Reddit is really annoying, because for all my clients, we've had tons of view-through. So clearly it is very important in the buying journey, but click-through is, I have big spikes in the beginning and then it just disappears. So clear, as Davis, I believe, once said, that is unmet demand that is in the market, and then after that it's gone.
It's low-hanging fruit.
But then after that it's gone. For me, I'm keen to try it out, because I mean, how much work is it to try out a handful of campaigns? But I always tell my clients, just remember, you're not going to get rich out of this instantly.
Yeah. The numbers that I have for every click-through conversion, it depends on the funnel where the client is, if it's awareness or if it's sales. But I would say it's 1 to 7. For every one click-through conversion, you have about 7, sometimes even less, view-through. The biggest factor is the placement. So Reddit is very, they love their placements, and one of their favorite placements are conversion ads. Conversation placements, which means that you click on a post and there's an ad way below it. Then between the comments, there's also another ad. That's the conversation placement. That means like you could easily put all of your money in conversation placement, but it might not at all change your overall performance. And the question is, does your client want to have good numbers in Reddit, or they wish to have good numbers in the whole website? I did a case study. I didn't touch on these placements, but pretty much what I was doing was pretty much awareness audience putting in a feed, and that's it. And in long story short, we have been increasing our revenue month over month, like compared to last month. Right now, I think it's plus 40, if not 50%. I can really quickly check. So our Reddit performance improved, and our website performance improved dramatically, even with lower numbers, lower ad spend. So the placements and everything they're important for the view through and click through conversions. It depends on the client. Do they think it's worth it or not? So
for me, conversation ads fall into the banner ads category, because it's so easy to then have tons of view through ads, view through conversions. I mean, I have had some success with them, but it is a rare situation when I would say, hey, let's really spend some extra money on conversation ads.
Yeah. Kris?
Okay, so quick, I know we are short on time, so super top level. First of all, most of my clients don't even care about what are in-platform conversions. If they care about it, I hear jackpot noise in my head, because I know they actually get marketing and don't require immediate results. But that's usually not the case. Usually they want to see what's in the CRM. So I have similar numbers to what Davis said. Around 1 out of 5 to 1 out of 10 click-through conversions are actually what I see in the CRM as a direct conversion. So it's I rely heavily on UTM tracking and the CRM to see which campaigns, which ads, which community actually brought me direct last touch conversion, because that's what client wants. So that's what I have to optimize for.
Yep. I would, if you're comparing with Meta has on the opposite. They have way more click-throughs rather than view-through. And usually that's the only reason why people like Meta. But at the end of the day, I would say, to me, what I have been trying to do is actually push away rather than, okay, let's stop talking about, we have the Reddit ad data, cool, but let's also see what kind of impact Reddit is giving to overall channels. Kris, I don't know if you have seen it, but when we have substantial, like good enough budget, our Search Console results for brand queries are actually increasing the same day. I think usually it's like 4 times X. Like they were getting like 100 searches, now they're getting 300 to 400, and it's not dropping. And it's almost every single time when we have like a couple of $1,000, and the company is not too like well known. So it's like, okay, it does account for something. Our direct purchases are up, or organic purchases are up. What's up with that? So yeah, I would say they're important, but not that at the end of the day, because what matters is getting you money.
That is, however, not obviously that's true. But then again, when
Yeah.
you have either a supervisor, a team lead, or a CEO who really loves looking into the numbers and stuff, then that can get into a difficult conversation.
Well,
but
you
about
look at the numbers, but let's have the broader picture, or even like to be.
But that would require patience
Yeah.
and resources and time, and
We don't have that.
well, I know few CEOs who do once when they are in the SME stage still. When it's really large, like I know that Jason works for Atlassian. I think for them there is a lot of time and effort being snuck into meetings for the really high level people, because obviously that is a very different scale than the people that I talk with on a daily basis. I do want to thanks for letting me use you as an example as well, by the way, Jason. So didn't want to pick you out, but it's just a company that everyone knows, because I wouldn't be surprised if half of us use Atlassian somehow. I would like to ask people to drop your questions, because if we only have 7 minutes, then we do need to try and answer all of them. Have we tried takeovers and freeform ads? And what were our results?
They're actually only if you spend about 40K or something. I might be wrong with the numbers, but it's like at least 10K. So yeah, just for that. No.
Takeover, I have done something similar for Pinterest, and it led to fantastic. I love yes, I love cameras that don't work. I have done something similar on Pinterest once, and it gave us 4,000 clicks and no conversions.
Yeah.
Retargeting also did not work. It was very, very sad, because that was a big investment for my client, and I told them in advance this was not going to work. Aren't the freeform ads the one where you upload different captions and images, and then AI put it together?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because those actually, I tried that a long time ago, and they were decent.
I actually, I found a bug in Reddit ad system a year ago. I did. Right now, you can't do conversion ads for freeform, but at that time, I actually did that for a client, and it was actually performing very well. We used not one, but I think 2 or 3 testimonials, and we were actually very transparent that this is an ad. This is like an actual testimonial what the person was writing. We have asked for permission, and the user gave it to us. And here's actually the official, not official, but original post. And it was actually well received. and then Reddit killed it. Yeah.
Any other
Kris?
questions or anything for Kris to add? Because I feel like Kris is not getting enough screen time.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, freeform, amazing click-through rate, no conversions because when they click on freeform ad, usually it's to learn more, not to convert. PMAX, nope, horrible results. A lot of view-through conversions because it's heavily conversation as placement. So people don't click, people not even see it. They account as one impression. So if they convert later, that's credit. I would still stick to image ads, video ads, and then I know we're supposed to cover, but we didn't touch on that so deeply. If I had to choose, I would definitely don't do interest targeting for B2B because interest targeting is quite broad and quite random. I would focus on community targeting and then eventually on keyword targeting, but there is also a sweet spot mix. For community targeting, do only feed placement, and for keyword targeting, do only conversation placement. I could go in depth into it, but at the end of the day, cost per conversion is lower with that setting.
Yep.
I would also really like to use this as a cliffhanger to tell people to come back next time when we talk about Reddit ads again. So that is fantastic. That is a fantastic point for us to stop, because I don't think there are any questions that people want to have answered. Did people have a good time? Did everyone get to learn something? Did you have all of your questions answered? And
did we answer all of them?
For the 8 people who are still here, the real. Let's see. Then in that case, if everything is sorted, then I want to thank everyone for joining today. I want to thank Davis and Kris for joining me. And again, Davis, thank you for using your ad credits. That's awesome.
No problem.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Reddit.
I'm just going to post it here one more time. For us, it really helps if you follow us on LinkedIn and like and comment on our posts. We want to get out of the super low follower numbers and no interaction at all levels. So everything helps here, because also the bigger this becomes, the more we can do, and then we can do even more things, and we might not look as pixelated as we might do today. I am very happy that all of you had a good time. I would also recommend everyone to connect with everyone here, either the people in the audience with the speakers, the audience members with audience members, and everyone else that I haven't mentioned yet, because first of all, Davis and Kris are really nice. I think most of our people in our audience also seem very nice. And so then usually things end up working, don't they?
Yeah.
So exactly, everyone connect with Sarah. According to Kris, her posts are definitely worth seeing. So with the last shout out to Sarah, thank you all for joining and hope to see you next time.
See ya.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Anytime, Kris.
Bye.